So we're with Stuart from SW Homes right at his project. He's going to be converting commercial building into 9 one-bed flats. He's going to be making over £500,000 profit without spending any of his own money. So we're going to talk the numbers with him. We're going to have a quick tour, and he's going to obviously give us some tips on how you can do the same. So you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Stuart. I run a loft conversion company, and we're into commercial developments as well. So we bought this building behind us, and it was for £400,000, and we're spending about 600 grand on it. We're going to convert into 9 one-bedroom units, and they're going to be worth about 1.6 million when they're done, which gives us about £600,000 profit.
And you haven't spent a penny of this on yourself, so obviously you see a lot of things online about no money down deals. There's an actual one here. Yeah. So do you want to explain about how you've done that?
Yeah, so we found it's all about finding the right deal really. So we found the deal, went out to speak to some people who introduced me to a company who had, they got a subscription business, so they've got a magazine. They take annual subscriptions. The money sits in their account for 12 months because they can't lodge it as profit. So they're making like £11 a month in Santander bank account. So when I found this out, I said to them, put some money into a commercial deal. We can try and make a little bit more than that. And now they're going to make half of the money we make. So when they put £1,050,000 in, when we refinance it for 1.6, they're going to effectively make 300 grand. And me and my business partner would make 300 grand. We're going to leave our money in the deal because we're going to keep hold of the building, and then we're going to rent the 9 flats for hopefully around £1,200 a month. And the mortgage, the borrowing of the 1.25 or so that we've got on the building will be about 6 grand a month. So we're going to make about 6 grand a month passive income.
And 1,200, let's say 12 grand, yeah?
12 grand, yeah, so yeah. 12 grand. Yeah, 12 grand a month for the total building, 5 grand-ish, 6 grand for the mortgage, and then 6 grand profit per month split between me and my business partner. So go have a little around, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically we were going to keep the shop at the front, but we found out recently from our lender that if we change it into a block of flats and lose the shop, then we can do an 80% loan to value, so we can pull out more of the equity to give back to the investors. So they wanted a debt deal, so they wanted to be released from the deal, so we get the building at the end. So we're going to now make a flat at the front. We've got a bin store behind the van, and then on the front, on the left, we've got the entrance, which we're going to make a nice grand entrance with like a built-in letterbox. Yeah, we're going to put like a built-in letterbox in the wall, so it all looks quite nice, and then just go have a look, show you around. Yeah, so we're having a bit of an open day today, so we had a load of investors come over from London and all sorts of some property chose us to come have a look around. Still got a few people sort of clearing up, finishing up now, but yeah, so this is going to become the entrance. This is the sort of hallway area. We're going to have a bike store put out here. This entrance is all up to all the flats. This is a lobby door that's going to go into 3 other flats at the back. We've got 2 over here, and then we've got one that's in the front. They'll all come through this lobby. When we bought the building, this whole area was like undercover. There was like a single story outbuilding that had no natural light. So when people were looking at it, it was actually on the market for about 4 months before we offered on it. They wanted originally 350 grand, then it went up to 375 when I was looking at it. And then there was another company who were trying to buy this one and another one in Cornwall. And I just said to them, we'll give you 400 grand, we're going to get the deal done. And they said yes, we accepted 400. But the benefit of that is that we wanted to knock this back single story section down, and that created 2 more natural light to get 2 more flats in here. So yeah, by having 3 down here is really good. And the building's also T-shaped, so there's lots of areas for natural light, so we can get 2 more flats above here. So we've got 3 on the ground floor, there's 4 on the first floor, and then there's another 2 in the loft. So we're on the first floor landing. So this is the sort of core of the building right the way up to the top. At the top there's a Velux window, which you'll probably see in a minute, which has got like an AOV, an automatic opening vent. So if there's any smoke or fire, sort of the emergency services can open that from the main entrance. That allows all the smoke to sort of go up through the building. There's a sort of a square LED light that we've put in, which is going to be like quite a modern thing, which we're going to run through all the floors. This is a lobby door here. Main benefit of the building was that we could get 2 37 square metre flats in here, so they can come through. These are the smallest ones in the building, but they're perfectly adequate for one person to sort of rent in them. Got the kitchen going in this corner. We've got a sort of fake French door with some windows here. Nice Velux over the top. TV point over here. The shower room. All the showers in here are 1200 by 800, so nice size showers. And then a nice double bedroom at the end.
And what's the minimum square footage for a flat?
So it's 37 square metres, and you have to have natural light in the living room, which is in here, and in the bedroom. So the kitchen doesn't need natural light, but again, it's nice to try and keep as much natural light as possible. We've also got a roof dome, so to get more natural light into this space, there's a roof dome here with an automatic blind, and then we've got a window in the bedroom and a Velux in this ensuite. So each layout slightly different. probably better to talk to you in another one, but if the light's okay. These are called a hot water heat pump. So we've gone quite green. All the walls have gone for internal wall insulation, and we've gone for these hot water heat pumps made by Dimplex. And
is that for the EPC as well, 2025 or something?
Yeah, so we're trying to go for, we'll get a B rating based on the installation we've used and these hot water heat pumps. Basically, it takes a day to heat the hot water. It pulls ambient warm temperature from the air outside, puts it through a little heat exchanger, a bit like how a refrigerator works, but the opposite. Takes the heat from the air, heats the hot water, and then pumps out cold air. And the boiling point of the air is like 18 degrees C, so it's a lot lower than when you boil a kettle and water evaporates. This works and operates at a lower temperature, so it just means that you can pull air even at like -2, -3 degrees outside. You can still get warm air from, extract the gases from the air, so it's pretty good. This is the shower room, a nice relax going in here, a nice big shower in here, and then toilet basin in this area. This is flat 6. So the bit at the back was a different level, so we decided to sort of put these steps in. The kitchen's going in here, and we're going to build like some sort of handrail that looks oversized and quite nice, just to break the kitchen up from the entrance hallway. Yeah. Radiator going there, and then we've got the sink above this window. We punched in the other windows just to get more natural light in here, and then the L-shaped sofa in this corner, and then the TV point over here. So I know you guys do a lot of HMOs and rent-to-rents and stuff. With HMOs, there's no difference really to the amount of work you put into these buildings as you do convert into flats, but the long term, because we want to hold this building over sort of 10 years, let capital appreciation build up, and that's where you make real good wealth, is by holding the building long term. But there's no real extra work you have to do. Yes, there's more soundproofing, a few more fire regulations you need to learn about, but if you're going to do HMOs and you can learn about commercial, highly recommend sort of looking at online courses and stuff. If you want to find out what we're doing as well, SW Homes, we sort of put up weekly updates of these builds. We've got a care home we're running onto for New Year, which we're buying as it's a care home which we're going to cut up into sort of 6 units. So sorry, 7, 5 2-beds and 2 1-bed units, which has got quite a good GDV. So hopefully you guys come have a look at that one. So yeah, another shower room in there, and then this one's been plastered literally this morning, but it's drying so quick because it's so hot outside. Yeah, it's a good size. It gets a bit more closer towards completion as we go up the building, so we sort of start from the top and work down. This is flat 4, so for fire regs we made this like a fire lobby. So a lot of flats you'll see these like lobby doors, which are glass doors that sort of break the hallway up. We didn't want that, we wanted the whole thing to flow, so we made these internal corridors the lobby for each flat. So we're going to make an hour fire door on the front, and then all the other doors we were going to do as 30-minute fire doors anyway, but we're going to make the kitchen door a 30-minute fire door. So if there's a fire, this whole area protects this flat, so other people are then protected. So just a way of trying to make it look a bit more modern. This is the living room, so double aspect windows at the front. Kitchen, we've designed it so again all the sofas can be as big as the tenants want them to be. They can either have like a 2-seater sofa and a dining room table, or like me, I've got a great big L-shaped sofa and a big puffy and TV over this area. So
you were saying 75 grand you spent for all the kitchens, all the architraves, all the doors?
Yeah, so for that 8, at the time we were doing 8 flats and a shop. We basically had a deal with Howdens where we got all the kitchens, all the hardware, all the flooring, skirting boards, architraves and doors for like 73 grand plus the VAT. So they're really, really good, and they obviously looked at doing the whole deal as a bit of a bulk deal.
So you get a lot of business, don't you? So.
We do, yeah. Well, I run a loft conversion company as well on the site, so we're already spending a lot with Howdens and like timber. We spend like 100 grand a month on timber, so we're buying as competitive as we can. And with our joint venture partners, we do 50% of the deal, and the investor puts their money in for 50%, and we share the asset at the end. So we refinance, give the investor all their money back, or as close to all their money back as possible, but they benefit from building this thing at cost. So we don't charge any margin on building it, we just do it at open book cost, and then we charge the SPV who owns the asset like a 12% plus that margin on top of the job, so it just covers the overheads of that company. But it means that we haven't got to then become CDN management, we've got health and safety, we've got to become CIS registered to sort of pay contractors and stuff. All that's being done through Skylofts anyway, so it's just a way of expanding what we're doing, but leveraging the company.
How much do you actually spend each month on like materials and like?
Well, we do about £4 million a year turnover, so we're probably spending around 150, 200 grand a month in our loft conversion company. So we do about 80 lofts a year, so we're not a small company, but equally we love the commercial stuff as well. So we're just taking the same skills we've learned for the last, I've been doing constructible conversions for sort of 20 years, so it's taking that knowledge now and applying it to commercial buildings. These defunct buildings they're valued, a commercial property is valued on the amount of money it generates. So if you buy a building with no money that's being made, it's not even bricks and mortar, it's just a lump of a building in a certain town. So that's often where you get the best deal. It's what you can extract from the building. So how big it is, how much natural light you've got. You know, clever design will actually, we moved the staircase completely to get the amount of flats we got in. So it's having that sort of vision of understanding what you can get out of the building, and then you put your offer in to try and win it. But there's, to give you an idea, I have to build about 60 loft conversions. I have to design, build and guarantee 60 loft conversions in the same time it takes me to build one building like this for the same profit.
Jeez.
Yeah, so when you look at that and the energy and the input you have to put into run a loft company or a construction or an extension company on the basis of doing one building project, you sleep a lot easier at night with just one building project, you know? So it's, yeah, so they're really good. So we're totally up for growing this side of the business, which is why you guys are here, hopefully going to try and help us grow SW Homes and trying to get us out to more investors who like what they see and want to get involved a bit. And this is great money for them because they get all their money back and they create an income. So they're creating a 8, 9, 10 grand a year income on a building that they own. So when it appreciates, their 50% of the deal of the building appreciates as well.
Is that what you do then? Instead of like loans, you'd rather just like JV with them? Or?
I mean, we'll do debt. Debt equity is they give us some money, we give them 10%, 12%, whatever we agree on the finance. You know, if we need to, you know, like, it used to be like 6%, but with interest rates and everything. But it's better for them long term to have an equity stake in the company because they then own the asset long term. They get an income from it and they get most of their money back. Hopefully all of it, but you know, they are taking more of a risk being an equity partner. But that's the idea, is us, we do 2 or 3 of these, we build an establishment, we can show people the finish and the style, and we do everything open book, so we can't build cheaper because we're doing it at cost. And like I said, we're just covering that 12% margin to keep the lights on and pay the insurances and keep the people who are doing the job, because they already pay the suppliers, they pay the CIS, they pay all our contractors we're working with on a daily basis anyway, so it sort of makes sense to run it hand in hand. But yeah, this is one of the bedrooms, so yeah, this is flat 5. So nice big double bed off here. Got built-in wardrobes, all of them are going to have built-in wardrobes, full double cupboard, and then a single cupboard for like ironing boards and hoovers and stuff. So in the bathrooms, what we've done is we've gone for tile floors, because you know you sort of stand on tiles with your shoes off and bare feet, and they feel quite nice. But in the shower, to try and keep the maintenance down, we've decided to go for the aqua panels. So there's different types and styles of aqua panels. There's some cheaper ones, which I totally would recommend to avoid, or you pay about £300 a panel and go for a decent one. These ones are here. So the panels are ready to go in now, the tiles are finished. When you look at the actual finish of the tile versus the floor, it's going to look and tie in really nicely, but this is maintenance free. So all you need to do is every time someone moves out, you know, tenants are here for 2-3 years, all you need to do is literally re-silicone it if the water's eaten up some of the silicone, and it's maintenance free. If you go for normal tiles and the hard water starts eating into the grout, it doesn't take long before the water gets behind and starts making things mouldy. The worst thing you want in a flat, because you've got so many layers.
I actually think those look better as well.
I think so. I mean, you don't go in the shower and start touching all the walls. You stand on your feet, so you feel it, you feel the quality of the taps and stuff. But then in the shower, you're just there to sort of shower yourself. So fingers crossed, that should look good. And we're just waiting as well just to see how much money we've got left at the end. Hopefully we've got enough to do stone worktops. We budgeted for normal sort of worktops, you know, laminated worktops, but if we can stretch at the end, we have to decorate a couple of rooms ourselves to save a bit of money. These are the hot water heat pumps. Every flat's got their own hot water heat pump. So flats 1 and 2, so we're on the 2nd floor now. Just go through this one first. Quite like the layout of the flats, so they sort of flow. I mean, they're pretty decent sizes. There's a bedroom in there with a little dressing table. The shower room is exactly the same finish as the one below. And then the floor in the ship is just sort of arch, but they put the flooring through now. And then the kitchen across here. I mean, it's a dual carriageway, it's in the town centre. There's 3 train stations within like a 5-minute cycle ride from here. Farnborough Main is literally half an hour into London, so it's not too bad for people just to bike it into London. And if you listen to the windows, yeah, the sound itself is pretty good, so it's not nice to be both.
Still as well.
Oh, was it? Oh, right. It's actually listening, it's quite.
Oh, that's
the windows, yeah, it's pretty good. You'd live here. So that's this flat. The last flat's through here. So again, similar style. We've gone for a couple of different tones of kitchen just to get a bit of character, just for our Instagram photos, I suppose, at the end. But yeah, flooring's going down now, so we'll probably have these ones ready to decorate in the next 2 weeks. All the doors, skirting boards, architraves, and then ground floor, which we'll just do a quick recce round. Yeah, the walls will be up hopefully in the next sort of 2 or 3 weeks, so we should have this done by end of October. So it's 13 months from getting the keys through to getting all the planning permission, to having the whole thing done and refinanced, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And we borrowed the money for an 18-month period with our investors, so we're well within that time.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll be happy when they get it back early then.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they've already said the second they lodge it as profit, because they've got this subscription business, so they want to, they can't lodge it as profit in their company until the 12 months is up. So every month they've got the 12 months expired, but they've got new people coming in, so they've always sit on this surplus of £1 million or 1.2 million. So they can't do anything with it. It just sits in their bank account, and they're making like £11 a month with Santander. So it's like nothing. So when I heard about this, I said to them, look, why don't you invest in a commercial deal with us? Put £1 million in. We'll do the work and we'll split the profits. And they seem to like that. So now we've done it. They are well up for not just making the profit. They actually want to now do an equity slice where they'll own half of the building. We'll give them their £1 million back or whatever they've invested. And then they'll actually own half the building, so ride the capital inflation with us, appreciation, and enjoy half of the income that it produces as well. So quite a good deal.
Sweet.
So for like people at home that want to get into this sort of thing, but probably listening to you, a lot of stuff's going over their head, they don't know where to start, sort of thing. So what sort of tip do you recommend?
Education, really. I mean, a lot of people go to these things and they want to learn about it, but you need to really either find someone who's doing it, follow them on YouTube, follow them on Instagram, and sort of take the steps with them. I mean, I've got a real big dream of trying to own £100 million worth of property, so I'm wanting to basically find investors that are going to help me go on that journey. And I think the idea would be, if you've got a bit of money, then invest with someone and earn and learn at the same time. If you haven't got any money, then you need to try and use the money you have got to get some sort of education, because people buy from people, and people buy from people who are highly motivated. They want to go out there and learn. And you start with a HMO, you start with a rent to rent, you understand the principles, and then you go into effectively HMOs. I didn't do rent to rent, too lazy for that. I wanted to go straight into, it's a lot of hard work for not owning the asset, and it's all about owning the asset. So cut the HMOs, learn the cash flow and how good it is to get your money back out of a deal. And even if you have to leave 20, 30 grand in there, if you're still making 1,500 quid a month profit, then it's a great income, because once you get that money out, you're just making that forever. And then once you've done a few of them, your friends of friends, and it's amazing how many parents, uncles, dentists, doctors will start understanding what you're doing, and they're not educated as much as you. So you then want to approach them, tell them about it, be open, honest, tell them how much money you're making, and one of them will give you an opportunity, will give you 100 grand, and then you use that money. When you borrow people's money, it's a massive responsibility, and don't take it for granted. Look at that as in it's like your own money, but it's more important than your own money, because it's your pride, it's your name on the line, and use it, treat it like a baby, and do everything you can to make sure you can nurture it, get as much you can out of it, refinance it, give them their money back, stick to what you said you're going to do, and then massive opportunities will come out the back of it. Just treat everyone with the same.
You would really rather fuck up on your own money than someone else's money, destroy your whole name and your reputation.
Totally. No one wants, there's enough sharks out there and dodgy people. I mean, you're going to try and build an honest business, but so many more good things will come off the back of it. If you treat the smallest investment, take a 20 grand or a 50 grand investment, try and buy something, put the sweat equity in yourself, get in there with a roller, get on there, get the floor down, do what you can if you have to. And obviously learn how to stack deals, because the only way you're going to get messed up is if you take a deal on that's not going to earn you money. So it's a scary world, but I think start with HMOs, they're really, really good. And to be honest, if I didn't understand the commercial stuff, I would still be ploughing out HMOs, because they're great, they're better cash returns than doing these. But when you've got 9 one-bedroom flats that you can sell independently, they've all got their own services. Longer term, 5-10 years time, these will be worth an awful lot more than just a 1-bedroom, 6-bedroom HMO, because that's only going to ever produce so much cash. Yes, the rents go up, but the building will only be worth a certain amount, where if you've got 9 or 10 one-bedroom flats. It's just an amazing process, and I think learning commercial property. Ranjan, I don't know if you know, Succeeding Property, really good guy. I've done an 8-week course with him. He taught me a lot and gave me the last nudge I needed to sort of take £1 million of someone's money, which is scary enough. Buy a commercial property that not very much about, with all the new rules, regulations, the planning restrictions and stuff, and make it happen. But now I've done it, it's almost like, well, it's fine, just replicate it, and it's really simple. So
have you got anything you want to plug, or?
Not really, just if you're interested and want to watch what we're doing, see this finished, hopefully you guys will come back and do another video once it's all done. But yeah,
we'll put
my
Instagram on the description.
The SW Homes, I mean, Wife Borough Properties is our handle for this job, so this is the company that owns this asset. Wife Borough is myself and Will, he's the builder. So the beauty of this is I'm surrounded by electricians, plumbers, roofers. So Will is a fantastic fitter. So we've done a deal where we own this company it with the split where he's actually on the job every day managing it, and at the end for a reduced rate, and at the end of the job he will refinance it and he'll have an income out of it for the rest of his life basically.
That's all right. So he's doing the build, and you're just like speaking to investors looking for more deals sort of thing.
Yeah, literally trying to stack them in front of him. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to find like the next 3 or 4 deals that we can work on, get through planning, so we can literally bounce on this one straight to another one. And yeah, hopefully bring in more loft fitters that I work with, who I'm good friends with, and I've been working with them for years, and hopefully do the same deal with them, so we can really try and scale this longer term.